Hello, everyone. Today we are reviewing Jaws, a absolute classic about a killer shark. And oh, who's that I spot? Owen Quinn is back. Hello, Owen.
Oh, hello, I am back
Where have you
from
been?
teaching this shark how to play the cello underwater. Um, I've actually been sick. So Stephen did tell you I was actually really sick with a chest infection. I actually thought it was COVID-19 for a while. So it's the third week of it, isn't it? So I've
Hmm.
been flat out in my wee sick bed,
Yeah.
firing antibiotics into me, but I've been very busy too. Not that I've been writing, I just didn't have the energy, but I was out. I met a few celebrities. I've met four Doctor Who's, two companions. Um, Jim Royal from the Royal family,
Oh,
our
very cool.
American. Yeah, oh, he's so cool. I have to tell you my story about him.
Yeah, yeah.
Our American listeners probably don't know who the Royal family is. It's Royle. It's a comedy that was on the BBC. So if you go on to the BBC iPlayer or BBC America, you'll see it. It's such genius, such genius.
Okay.
Um, Seen Christopher Lloyd,
Oh,
Doc
very cool.
Brown,
Nice.
but I didn't get near him because it was like £190, and I went, no, I couldn't justify that. That was too dear.
Oh my God, that's
And
double what you charge to come on here.
oh, I know. I said I don't charge enough. That's what's wrong. I treat you like a wee charity case, son.
Do you know what? I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Bless him. I do everything but put my halo on, really, at the end of the day. Um,
Right, so
I mean,
we're talking about Jaws, so there will be spoilers for the one person in the audience who has not seen Jaws. But if you have not, it's worth watching without spoiling anything. Not that there's that many twists or turns or anything, but it's worth watching blind, I would say. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it and then come back and listen to this.
my question is, why haven't you watched it?
That would be my question as well,
It's
yeah.
50 years old. It's not like, and when we say spoilers, it's not, there's no bits in it where they go, I am your father. So, I mean, so, hello.
Brody turns out to be the shark's father.
Yeah, well, that's an art film completely, but sure.
All right, Owen Quinn, since you've had 4 weeks off, you can lead us with the premise. Since you've been lazy for 4 weeks, what's the premise of Jaws?
Uh, so a wee fishing town in America.
Amity Island.
What's the I? Do you know what? I always thought Fears was Amityville.
No, that would be a
No.
different movie.
Yeah, but here, imagine the crossover for that one.
Jaws and
Jaws
Amityville.
meets Amityville horror. No, I mean, that's awesome.
I'd
I think
watch it.
sci-fi did a few stupid movies like that where there's vampire sharks and werewolf sharks and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little fishing town called Amity is suddenly finds itself terrorized by a great white shark that turns up in their waters,
A rogue shark.
especially about to enter tourist season. So when they discover that there's a great white shark on the loose, the town sheriff, the wonderful Roy Schneider, um, is opposed by the mayor of the town and his little cronies who want it all covered up and throw all the people in the water so the shark will eat them, and then things get out of hand.
Yeah. So the mayor's contention is that this, like, summer is very, very important to the livelihoods of the people on the island. So
Yeah.
he's very reluctant to shut down the beach because it could be financially a disaster. So
And
he
he refuses to see the evidence that's brought
yeah
towards him as well.
he doesn't want to believe that the situation is as bad as it is. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
All right. So let us start off with the music of Jaws. So I think Jaws has a great score. We have that iconic theme, as you say, Jaws playing a cello underwater, which I think is one of the best horror themes of all time.
yeah.
Yeah, has to be up there, right? If
Everybody knows it except the one person who's never watched it.
that one
But once
person,
you watch it,
if
yeah,
if
that one person who should be watching it,
if you're that one person, comment down below why you've not watched it.
yeah, I'm pleased then go and watch it. Honestly, yeah, is it these? This is one of these movies you have to see before you die,
Yeah,
and it's
because
also
if you watch it after you die, that's no good.
yeah. Well, you could do because you go into heaven, then you don't have to pay into the cinema or not. It's great. You just pay
cinemas
with ghost.
cinemas free in heaven.
Yeah. But it's just one of those movies where everything is so simplistic, it works so brilliantly
Yeah.
and really did terrify. I mean, it's 50 years old. I think it was like two when I was sick there a couple of weeks ago
So
because it was
twice as
all
it,
over.
it's twice as old as you
What?
then. It's twice as old as you then.
Oh no, three times as old as me.
Oh, that's what I
I
meant.
mind
Yeah, my
it
maths
was
was a
my
little off.
birthday. It was my birthday when I was sick the other week, so the age went down a wee bit. It sort of
Yeah,
dropped off.
we were gonna
There
give
you go.
you a happy birthday on the channel, but you didn't show
No,
up.
you just didn't bother. So what else is new? I decided out of mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people, the grave wasn't even cold, and they just forgot about me.
All
Isn't
right.
that shocking?
Enough about Owen. We're talking about a killer shark.
Same thing. I'm telling you,
This shark has got a better temperament than you do.
my jaws has wounded many a person. Let me tell you.
So
Um,
when Jaws was always one of my favorite films, but
yeah,
when I rewatched it last week, it really shot up even more, and I put it into my top 5 horror films. There you go. That's how good I think this film is.
it's
Um,
one of them films where you know why you watch a film over and over again, and then sometimes you'll get so far and you go, no, your attention wanders.
yeah.
Mine doesn't wander with this one.
Yes. Same. Yeah.
Jaws is all, and my son loves Jaws, and
Yeah.
he's 21.
Yeah.
So it's because it's 50 years of age, and there's a whole big thing there last month in September, it's nearly the end of September now, but in September, so everybody and their mother was talking about Jaws, and it was all younger people too.
Yeah.
So it's like Star Wars is a generational
Yeah.
movie, and it doesn't feel to entertain. And she said, I did watch it when I was sick because I watched so many things when I was like just to sort of not sleep. Um, and it's still effective. The
Yeah.
scares are still there, and I remember seeing it for the first time, and the body coming out of the waves,
Yeah.
which is probably the most graphic and horrific thing in it, really, that you get to see,
Yeah.
apart from
It
Quint's
doesn't.
death. But
Yeah. It doesn't go over the top with gore, but
yeah,
there's
it
enough in
does.
here to make it effective.
Yeah, and the good thing is the burnt body who Brody thinks is the victim of a shark attack, which she is, but she's also burnt. Um, I think she's burnt. That the mayor can look at it and go, well, maybe it's not a shark, and there's enough evidence that sort of throw doubt on Brody's claims
Yeah.
that it is actually a great white shark
Yeah.
until the arrival of Richard Dreyfuss's character Hooper.
Yeah. So we'll get on to the characters now in a second. So the the theme obviously is great, but it also has some music that's more in line with like action adventure music, which is cool. And there's scenes where they know when not to play music, which I like. They know when to
Mm,
just let a scene play out without music. So I like that it has restraint. It's just not constant music. And then when Jaws' theme kicks in, it's really effective.
yeah,
So yeah, music in this is great. The direction, I think the direction in this movie is fantastic. I think you got some great camera work. There's one bit. So you know Brody's on the beach. He knows that there might be a shark out there, so he's all on edge. And every time like a character walks past the camera, it just cuts in closer to him. So they obscure the
mm,
camera for a second, and then when they're gone, it's zoomed in more on Brody. And I love that bit. I just think it's a really nice touch. These little kind of camera tricks to really just help elevate a scene. Um,
do you want to know what the greatest camera trick in Jaws was?
what's that?
Joe, you always had it from the point of view of the shark coming up through the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
somebody designed a what they call it, oh god,
yeah,
a water box, and they put the camera in it and lowered it into the ocean, so they could do those sort of shots,
yeah.
from the shark, and that was all by accident because the shark didn't work.
Yes,
So,
there's a
uh,
few happy
yeah,
accidents in this movie.
yeah, because I watched the making of it and it was just so bad making it that Spielberg actually quit.
Wow.
He tried to get Charlton Heston on as Quint, which was one of his cast, but
Oh,
he said
really?
no. Heston was too big because he was Ben Hur and Moses. It was too much of a 12-inch cylinder for
Yeah,
Charlton Heston, so that's why he went with Shaw. But he couldn't get Quint cast. But a lot of those effects, as you know, everybody knows Bruce the Shark didn't work properly.
yeah,
in the original storyboards, you saw the shark attack the girl at the start. You saw the shark all the way through, but all that had to go because they couldn't make it work. So that's where they came up with the point of view shots
It's great as well
from it.
because I believe they would have showed the shark earlier if they could have got him to work, but I'm glad they
Yeah,
didn't because we see the shark clearly for the first time the same time Brody does, and I think that makes it
yeah,
really effective. We're seeing it clearly at the same time he is, and I think that worked out really well. Because if we
yeah.
had seen the shark before, we already have a sense of its kind of scale and whatever, but we
Yeah.
don't, and we see it when Brody sees it. So that worked out for the best, I think. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah. Nothing happens by accident, I think, to be honest with you. Everything, as you know, sort of everything happens for a reason in the Time Warriors books, even the most random things. But I think that's also true in life.
Hmm.
So all these challenges, and this is what I like. This is why I keep saying about TV shows that don't have a great budget, and us who are producing books, we don't have a budget, but we're trying to do the best we can. By doing that, it's paving the way for all future movies because all those tricky camera shots that became successful and scared the life out of audiences in Jaws suddenly became the norm.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, we can do this because the one thing they would never do is, most water movies are done at a big tank, but it was Spielberg who insisted on doing it in the Atlantic Ocean, which
Oh.
caused its own problems. But they learned so much from it.
Yeah.
And when you look at the movie, there was before the movie came out, Richard Dreyfuss, it had run over by 100 days. The executives were calling for Spielberg to be fired. He had quit at one point and then saw the Jaws, somebody wear the Jaws t shirt and he went, no, I think I'll stay. Um,
Yeah.
and Dravis went on and did an interview before it came out, and he attacked the studios. We're going, this film's going to be a disaster, and you're all going to blame this poor young filmmaker Spielberg, and he's going to get crucified, and it cannot be allowed to happen. And then it came out, and it was massive success. So poor Richard went, okay, I was wrong.
There you go.
But there was so much, but he's up close. He's seeing all the disasters and everything
Yeah.
else. But
I.
all that created this,
Yeah.
and many people have emulated. I love shark movies. I always have. And I think it probably is because of Jaws. I
I
love deep,
believe
deep.
this is I heard that this was the first big summer blockbuster movie. So
It was
before
1975, yeah.
yeah, so before Jaws, I think all the big release dates were around Christmas and that. But this was such a huge hit that
Yeah.
flipped the script, if you will.
Yeah, because the book by Peter Benchley was number one in the charts at that time. So the movie still was being made. So the racing against time was all these troubles before the book dropped out of the top 10 bestsellers list to keep interest sort of in the movie. So when it was finally released. So there was so much against them. Um, and it was Martha's Vineyard that they actually used for the location of Amity, which was a huge location for X Files as well. It was Mulder's mother's home, and that's where he grew up.
Yeah,
But so much, and you what they've give up and they've give up, but look at what came out of it.
yeah,
And it's even Ridley Scott used the alien point of view because the less you see of the monster, the better until the final reveal.
yeah,
And you think it's a shark. I mean, we know it's a shark. We think it's a shark, but Bensley also did Jan Squid
yeah,
for that as well.
yeah. There you go. And just one
But there's
final
so
note
much.
on the direction that I like that this film has long takes. I'm a fan of longer takes because it just allows you to settle into a scene. I find a lot of modern
Mm,
films the cutting is so frantic
yeah,
that I find it hard to just settle into a scene. Like there's obviously times where it's a good idea to do that, but I don't like it unless there's a good reason for it. But Jaws has some long takes which I appreciate myself.
and I think as well the water. Thank God it wasn't a water tank because it didn't have CGI or any of them blue screen things.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing is real. So when they're out in the boat in the water, it's real. It's not. There's not. There's nothing made up. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
special effects. So everything was done out in the ocean. That was most. It wouldn't be, as somebody said, it wouldn't be allowed now. You
Yeah.
couldn't go out and film on the ocean on such a scale.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into the characters. So let's talk about Brody. So Brody has got a lot of guilt for not closing the beach when he knew there might be danger out there. So he didn't close the beach, which led to the death of a boy, even though he knew there might be danger out there. But he let people sway him, and that weighs heavily on him. And this is an important scene because Brody is really afraid of water, so it needs to make sense that he goes out there with the other two. So this scene plus another incident prompt Brody to head out with the gang to go hunt for the shark, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense for Brody to go out there with them.
No.
But it's a really good setup for his character. This idea that he knew there might be danger, but he let people sway him. So that's weighing heavily on him.
But then it's slightly more than that because he's being threatened by people that are more powerful than he is. Do you know what I mean? The matter, oh, we're going to sack you and blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah, yeah,
it's, and you sort of go, yeah. So you understand he's not a maniac. He was cast because he was so normal and
yeah,
approachable in
yeah,
real life. How he actually they couldn't cast Brody either, which was the other thing.
yeah,
Um, and he got the job. Spielberg was at a party, was sitting in a chair thinking about this thing, and this fella come up and went, "I see you're sitting by yourself. Is everything okay?" And it was Roy Schneider.
yeah,
So the two of them get sitting talking, and Spielberg put this in the documentary. He said, it all just came out. He says the troubles I was having with the movie, trying to find the right people, and just it was such a slog, and I was so stressed out.
yeah.
And Roy Schneider says, "I'll do it." And I
Wow,
went, "Okay."
wow.
And I would say, "Talk to people. You never know what
Yeah,
doors would open."
yeah, yeah,
But that's how I
exactly.
got the role. And do you know what? I would love to have met Roy Schneider because he then went on. He has like the French connection and all that, but he was also captain of the Sea Quest, and I
Yes.
love Sea Quest. If you're gonna do a submarine series, make sure there's plenty of monsters. You don't want one of them stupid ones who go, "Oh, there's a big cave, but there's nothing in it." You
Yeah,
want Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. You want Sea Quest. You want monsters. You want Star Trek under the water. And
yeah,
there was nobody better than Roy Schneider at it.
yeah. And the
He was just,
casting in this movie is perfect, isn't it?
yeah. And yet the trouble I had finding him.
Yeah. So
It's
that's
crazy.
interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, like Brody overcomes his fear of water and defeats the shark because he feels a great deal of responsibility for what happened. And I always thought it was interesting as well. You got two shark experts, but Brody's the one who gets the job done, which I think is great stuff. And then we get that iconic line, "Smile, you son of a bitch."
Folk brunt of the people.
Say that
Like
again.
the mother of the wee fella that Brody gets the brunt of the anger from the
Yes,
townspeople
yes,
because the mother of the kid slaps him in the face. I think I won't blame him. It's not his fault. And we
yeah,
as an audience know you're going, it wasn't him, it was that behind him. Fucking blah, blah, blah. But
yeah. But Brody does say as well. I think someone says to him, "She doesn't know what she's talking about," or "She's wrong." I think, and Brody says, "No, she isn't," because
yeah,
he knows he was swayed a bit. I think that scene's really important as well because it's one of those ones that facilitate us getting Brody out into the water because he feels responsible. So that's an important scene.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's hard to watch as well because Brody's such a good guy, and as you
Yeah.
said, he's taking the brunt of it, and it's like, oh man,
And I mean, his whole marriage and his kids and all, it's so normal. And that's what Spielberg was looking for. No people
yeah,
that are likable and just normal, and you would love to go to their house and have a drink with them, sort of thing.
yeah,
And he got that, I think. And the characters, especially Brody and his wife Ellen,
yeah.
because Ellen would go all the way through all four of the Jaws movies.
Oh, she in all four of them.
She's not four, including Jaws. She's actually the focus of Jaws: The Revenge with Michael Caine.
I don't think I've ever actually seen them all fully from start to finish. To be
You
honest,
have? Like you should. You should. Even the 3D is not bad, but it's like it had to sort of change the location, and it's a bit forced that the Brodies are involved now. The grown up sons are now involved in it, and again, it's another show. It's a bit forced that way. And then number four is completely out there with the psychic shark.
yeah, I've
And
heard
I
about
thought,
that.
really, really, no.
Um,
But you know what I mean? It's Jaws, and you can't. It's like Jurassic Park. No matter how bad they say they are, you're still gonna watch them, and you do have a fondness for them.
yeah, I mean, like you can enjoy something for what it is, but
Yeah.
I'm one of those who I might have seen them when I was younger. Like I have images in my head that are from some of the sequels, but I couldn't tell you from which ones. So they were on in front of me at one point, but I do not really remember them.
Yeah.
I know them by reputation mostly.
Yeah. Well, Dennis Quaid was number three as the eldest son, and then
Uh,
Michael Caine was number four. Second one was Brody again. But there's nothing like a giant shark attacking a helicopter or an airplane or a boat. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
There's just
yeah,
something about that. Something frightening and iconic. Because even though you're going to go, I'll never be in a helicopter that lands in the water, you still don't want to be in it when you're grabbed by the shark.
yeah.
And I go, nah, the hell with that. But do you know what? The first time we went to Florida, um, they still had the Jaws. Um, what do you call it? You know, you get in the boat and you go out in the water around Amityville in the harbour,
Right,
and the shark comes up the side of the boat.
right.
Awesome,
Very cool.
awesome.
Right, so
Because I
we
researched it first
yeah,
to see where at what point in the boat the shark was going to come up, and made sure it was sitting there in the sun. And he didn't know the shark was coming up, and it came up out of the water. I'll tell you what, I know it's a puppet, but it was for a second you go, okay, that's like the movie, too much like the movie.
right. So we have to talk about Quint next because I
We
think
do.
Quint has one of the best intros in any movie ever. I think it's so iconic, and
Mm,
it's borderline goofy, but it works just enough. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
he scratches the chalkboard to get everyone's attention. I think it's just great, and we have Quint, who is more old school, and then Hooper is more advanced in his approach. So they clash, and that causes some interesting conflicts, which I like. Richard Dreyfuss is also great in this movie, by the way.
yeah.
I
Behind
actually
the
think
scenes and in front.
he's very underrated in this movie. I don't hear people kind of praising him enough.
Well, funny, do you know who was supposed to do Hooper?
Who?
Do you remember Blue Thunder? The helicopter. Remember Knight Rider and Street Hawk and Blue Thunder, the
Yeah.
talking helicopter and all? John Michael Vincent.
Was that not something Hawk?
No, a Street Hawk was a motorbike.
No, what
Knight
was it?
Rider was a car.
Oh, sorry,
And
Airwolf.
Airwolf. That's the word I get Blue. Oh, do you know why? Because I think Roy Schneider did a movie called Blue Thunder with a helicopter in it.
Ah,
Getting my
right, right.
getting my movies mixed up. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Airwolf,
yeah. Airwolf.
which was awesome as well. But John Michael Vincent was supposed to do it first, but
Wow.
Spielberg didn't because he was so close. Because he looked so much like the book's description. But
Mm.
again, when Dreyfus walked in, and he walked in looking exactly like he did in the movie, I went, "That's him. That's
Yeah,
Hooper."
that's cool. So yeah, so he has one of the best introductions, and I also think he's one of the best monologues of all time. I think it's
Awesome.
just so great. He's talking about the Indianapolis. It's a
Yeah,
difficult word to say.
I know.
Indianapolis. Um, so he talks about how 700 men went into the water. The vessel went down in 12 minutes. Their mission was secret, so no distress signal had been sent out, and they're all waiting for their turn to be eaten by a shark. And he explains that he'll never wear a life jacket ever again because of this experience. And then his whole monologue is very harrowing. It's very dark, and then it ends with "But we delivered the bomb." So that's a great way to punctuate that monologue. I think it's really powerful stuff, and we understand from this scene why he wants to hunt sharks.
Yeah,
Um,
uh, and
yeah.
it also gives him that intro he has, where he's that not arrogance. I'm not sure what arrogance is the right word, but he has
Mm,
this. I know arrogance because he knows what sharks are like and what sharks are capable of, and how underestimating people are of sharks in general. The Indianapolis is a true story
mm.
and there's a new movie coming out called Beast of War, which is based on that, and
Oh
that's
wow!
that's
Right.
the scenario. Yeah, the trade. Have a check in the trailer on YouTube.
Yeah.
It is that scary. They're on the life rafts, and one scene you just see the shark come up, grab the man, pull him away.
Yeah.
That's how it went in real life. So some of the survivors of Indianapolis, praised the movie for telling
Wow.
their story and making it public and sort of giving them some sort of meaning for all the people that they'd lost. which I
Wow.
think is wonderful. I
That's
think it's wonderful.
that's it. Very
Um,
interesting. That is wonderful.
yeah, and I just thought it's amazing. It's terrifying to
Yes.
think. I always thought if you were stuck out in the sea on a life raft, I'd be more afraid of a big tentacle coming up and grabbing you.
Right.
But I think shark. When you look at that, when you see the clips from Beast of War, you go, "Oh no, the shark's scarier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shark's
And
scarier."
it's unfortunate that Quint's the end to Quint's story is very grim. Like when you consider the story he just told, and then how he meets his demise, like it's so grim.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
final destination, isn't it?
yeah, it's interesting as well because he's got this sort of personal vendetta against sharks, which we understand from listening to this story, and the whole thing with Quint is it's not just about getting rid of this shark. It's about him getting rid of the shark. He wants to do it because when Brody goes to call in for help, Quint smashes the radio because he's the one that wants to do it.
Yeah. So
And
he's a lot about inner demons, probably from
yeah,
the Indianapolis episode.
yeah,
Um,
which is mad because it all comes full circle, and it
yeah,
his kind of personal vendetta against sharks ends up being his demise ultimately because
yeah.
he's the one that wants to get the job done. And yeah, when he said about I'll never wear a life jacket ever again, like I'm like, oh man, like yeah,
It wouldn't be pleasant. No, it wouldn't be pleasant.
yeah.
I'd love to swim with sharks in a big cage.
Would you?
Yo, 100%. If I can do it, if I become rich and famous, I'll go and do it. But it would have to be a bloody big cage.
Yeah. I think that's
You know?
something Nicola's always wanted to do as well. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
fascinated by sharks.
I love sharks. Oh, I love sharks. I mean, if there's a shark, me and a friend of mine in work, one of the bosses, we were just obsessed with shark movies. She said, "You see that one, see that one, see that one." And there's a load of crap ones out there.
Yeah,
But like when you get something like Jaws or Deep Blue Sea, they're really good.
yeah,
They're really good.
yeah. Would you? So for me, Jaws is the best shark movie ever made. In your mind, is
So
there any that come close? Is there a close second?
the only well, do you know what? I like Jaws too. I still think I know everybody's the sequel, the curse of the sequels is not it isn't as good as the first one,
Yeah,
but the focus is slightly different, and it's still the bad. It's almost like Brody becomes Quint with the PTSD
yeah,
after the first one. Because like when he shot the shark in the mouth, he was literally face to face with it.
yeah,
So that wanted if the gun hadn't worked, he was screwed anyway. He was going to get eaten. But I do like the second one, um, because it's personal to Brody now, and because his kids are in danger, that adds the other element. But Deep Blue Sea, actually, I think is a very good movie.
I remember being fond of it, but I can't remember what its quality is like because it was so long since I've seen it. But I
Yeah,
do remember enjoying it, and that that
yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
twist,
yeah.
that
It's like
death you don't expect.
Samuel Jackson.
Well, I
Um,
wasn't going to say. That's why I was being
well,
vague.
Well, we'll save it for the not remember the next podcast. Be all right. By the time we get to Deep Blue Sea. But I mean, the only other one that springs to mind, which I enjoyed as a shark movie, was the Meg.
Meg's a bit of goofy fun.
But the first one, the second one's a disaster. But the first one, I just thought works really well.
Yeah. Another
Works
thing,
really well.
yeah, I haven't seen the second one, but I enjoyed the first one for what it was. Like it's a bit of silly fun.
Well, this one, I don't even waste your time in the second one. It's so out there. It's just stupid. And you're sort of looking at going, I actually turned it off
Really.
partway through, yeah, because I just thought, really, he's done that for the money because it makes no sense at all. And if it was real, based after the first one, then mankind would never be in the ocean again, ever.
Right.
It's just dumb. It's dumb. The first one I thought was good, but the second one's just terrible.
Yeah.
And you always come back to no matter what shark film you watch, um, it's not Jaws.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I mean?
I think Jaws is just such a well put together movie. It's also one thing I want to mention is that it's quite a funny film as well. Like there's some good
Yeah.
humor in here. One bit that always gets me is Brody's reading a book about sharks, and then he's like, "Where's my son?" And the mother says, "Oh, he's just playing in the boat there." And he's like, Brody shouts out, "Get out of the boat! Get out of the boat!" And the kid's like, "Ah, just a few more minutes." And the mother's like, "I'll leave him. He'll be fine." And then the mother sees a picture of a shark eating through a boat, and she goes out and she says, "You heard your dad. Get out of that boat."
Yeah,
I thought that was
and,
gas. It was so
yeah,
funny.
and even wee moments like even Hooper and Quint still have that funny moments, and
Yeah,
when nobody believes when Hooper proves it's not they haven't got the shark, knowing the one that they catch and they cut the stomach and all open, he goes,
yeah,
"That's not it." But he'd be a bit like myself, a bit just say it as you see it, and you go, "You're all fucking stupid.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not the right. You're all gonna fucking eaten here."
yeah,
Um, but and even in, I mean, the thing and funny the things you remember. Do you know when the three of them's on the boat and they're chasing Jaws? He slips in one shot, and I always think, was that intended or was that just an accident or a blooper that they kept in the movie?
yeah,
And he nearly fall. Yeah, if you watch it, he slips and nearly falls off the thing. But it, when you boil it down to it's just the three of them, three very different people.
yeah,
But it all works
yeah.
in tandem. The only thing I would say is I wanted a pity he didn't die at the end.
Who?
Hooper.
Right.
Do you remember he went in the cage
Yeah,
and the shark attacked the cage? Now, see, that was another shot. That's a real life shark attacking a cage
yeah,
with the diver in it. And then it cuts to the cage falling to the floor. And I just thought, please don't let him be alive. I don't
yeah.
know, but just I think if you're going to have that big of a triumph after all the horror that's happened, there's a bit of sacrifice needs to come in, and Quint is a big enough sacrifice along with his boat. But part of me sort of wishes, Hooper. I'd like to see Hooper not survive that, so Brody was the only one.
Yeah. What I do like about it is that they didn't make it a fake out that because we see Hooper escape and hide behind some coral reef or
Yeah,
whatever it is. So it's not this thing of, oh, we think he's dead and then he just comes back at the end, because
yeah.
I hate when films do stuff like that.
I I'd have done that.
S-
But I can't remember when I watched recently. It did that.
So it's like, we as the audience know he's alive, but Brody doesn't. So it's
Yeah,
a nice reveal for him. I see what you mean. Brody being the final survivor. Uh,
yeah. And being validated for all the crap that he's got from the authorities and everything else, where basically he was undermined. He's supposed to be the pillar of the town, and the his word's the final word. But because of money and everything else, he was completely undermined and silenced
yeah.
by the fools
And
like Murray.
he kept making little mistakes on the boat as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Which is like me. I put me in a boat. I'd just be hanging on for dear
yeah, yeah,
life. But the shark jumping up onto the boat was awesome. When you see that in the big screen,
yeah.
I'm of the age where I remember that in the big screen, but I wasn't old enough to watch it in the cinema. But I did years later manage to see it in the big screen. But that jumping onto the boat and the boat tilting backwards and so everything's starting to slide.
It looks so
That
cool.
yeah, and again, there's none of that CGI, none of that really. I know special effects, but it's not. It's all physical, like the thing. John Carpenter's the thing. Everything is there as it is.
Yeah, it's like, so you see the shark, and it's not the most
Mm,
realistic looking thing ever, but you look at it and go, man, it's so cool that they actually built that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You just don't get
Now,
that from CGI. Like CGI can be great. It's like, oh man, that shark looks so realistic or looks really cool. But with something like
no, I
this, like the fact that they built it and um, the budget wasn't huge for this,
no,
it's all comes together really well.
no.
It's
And
it's
somebody else
also,
was supposed to direct it.
I like the way that the death on the beach is a boy, because now the film is saying to you like, no one's off limits, you know.
Yeah, kid. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a really effective scene as well, because you just see it from sort of a distance. You don't get a clear shot of the shark, and then you just see the blood come up, and
I want to see the big
I
yellow.
think it's a fantastic horror scene. That scene is
Yeah,
just so well done.
it's it's the yellow. What do you call them? Floaties.
Right.
I think I can't remember, or a bed or something. But you see the yellow, and then you see the fountain of blood,
Yeah.
and everybody's around it, not even noticing. And you sort of go, "That's what would happen in real life."
Mm.
Nobody. It's like I was talking to somebody the other day, and it says until something comes to your door, you don't think about it. It's always somebody else's problem, or it's happened to somebody else.
Yeah,
So when you're at the beach, the last thing you're thinking of is shark.
yeah,
Whereas when I saw it as a kid, I didn't learn to swim until I was 17
right.
because I was convinced there was sharks in the swimming pool,
Wow.
and I wouldn't. And now you couldn't keep me out of the water.
Yeah,
But even when I jumped off the party boat last year in Turkey with one leg, just as I was going off the edge of the plank, I sort of went, "Shit! I hope there's no sharks in here." But I went
yeah,
in there. So it's that, but that's because of Jaws.
yeah.
That's all it is.
It was
But
very effective in that way, keeping
yeah,
people out of water. I
I
mean,
know you
when
said
I saw it at a pretty young age, and I was afraid to go into the bath.
yeah, nothing changed, Stephen. Don't worry about it. I'm not telling nobody your secret.
There you
It's
go.
a shower or nothing for the curries. Um, but funny when you're talking about the shark doesn't look real enough. It was actually built by, and I can't remember his name. They couldn't get anybody to do it right. And do you remember the film The 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with the giant squid?
Yeah.
The guy that built the giant squid built Bruce the Shark.
Oh, very
There's actually
cool.
there's actually three of them,
Yeah.
and somebody well, actually, yeah, somebody broke it, which held them back, because George Lucas decided to climb inside the shark to see the hydraulics and everything,
Yeah.
and Steven Spielberg thought it'd be very funny to close the jaws on him and flatten him inside, and he broke the shark.
Oh man,
So he contributed to that. There you go. Well, I was going
that
to say
is
Star Wars
hilarious.
sabotage, but it wasn't. It was Spielberg himself sabotaged his own film by accident.
That's
But
hilarious.
but I love the giant squid from 20,000 Leagues. That amazes me. And every time there's a report now of a giant squid being found in Japan and everything else, I'm in there. I love all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember watching. What was it? I think it was Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World when I was a kid,
Love Isle Arthur.
and I think on one of the episodes they were talking about this giant sea monster, and I remember being fascinated by it.
Yeah, I'm still fascinated to this day
And you
by
know what?
what's down there.
One of my biggest fears is sea monsters. Like that, sea monsters get me. You know what I mean? Giant squids, giant sharks, Godzilla. Like it just there's something about it that kind of does
It's
get
but
me.
because you look at the sea and you don't think it's that deep, and then you realize how deep it actually is and what hasn't been discovered. They found a brand new species of killer whales in
Oh
the
wow.
Antarctica. Was it the Antarctica somewhere?
Oh, that
But I
reminds
mean,
me
killer whales are not small.
the boat that they're on is called the Orca, just as a
Yeah, that
which.
was an argued film, the Orca. Orca, no, the one with Richard Harris. That was a good wee film. It
Hmm,
was kind of Jaws with a killer whale, but
right.
it was more intelligent than the one at Jaws 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the shark, that's who built the shark, was the guy that did that. And I just thought Spielberg knew what he was doing. He knew what he wanted,
Yeah.
and it wasn't what everybody else wanted. Because he was advised not to do this, not to do that, not to do the other. I just went, I'm going to do it my way. It nearly blew his mind because it was so many dramas, so much production issues, well 100 days over production,
Yeah.
uh, and the budget. But look at what came out of all that chaos. It was an absolute classic.
Yeah. Oh, it's I would describe it as a masterpiece, and I don't use masterpiece lightly. There's few films I would genuinely call a
Yeah,
masterpiece. I don't just throw it out there, but I believe Jaws is a masterpiece.
yeah. And
For a
you just
movie
picture
about a
it.
killer shark
Yeah,
terrorizing the beach, it's just fucking great.
that's awesome. But you just imagine with at the premiere going, well, was it hard to make this? No, it was a breeze. Absolutely. What? Not a mission. Made it in 2 weeks. And the sweat pissing. I'm going, fuck, I'm never doing that again.
Oh man, it sounds like
But
a very stressful
so much to
production.
love. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's actually really fun. I love the making of documentaries because you get to see behind the scenes. I mean, funny enough, on my website, I did a behind the story telling them what spawned one of the stories out of the Wolves of Chernobyl. I just like to see that because you get to see what the person's thinking
Yeah.
and what they're doing. Um, but I watched a couple. I've watched nearly. Any film I like, I've watched the making of, and Jaws is probably the longest one at 1 hour 41 minutes.
Yeah. Is that the
There's
one
but
on Amazon Prime?
oh, I seen them on YouTube.
Okay.
They could be on Amazon Prime. I don't know. It could well be,
There's one I
but
spotted called yeah, Jaws, the making of or behind the scenes or something like that.
I if it's about there's two. One seems to be 1 hour 30 and one's 1 hour 41. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating to watch it, and you get to see it, the trouble and all around it. I mean, it's
Yeah. So
the fact that it made it, and poor Richard Dreyfuss was made end up with egg on his face. God love him, but I mean, he's still going. He was supposed to be at Comic Con there and earlier in the year, but he's like 98 or something, is he?
oh
At
wow.
this point,
Jesus.
and he had to pull out. But Dreyfuss would be somebody I'd like to meet. I think so. I'd love to meet Snyder. All three of them, actually.
Yeah.
If you were doing Comic Cons Day and they're still alive, it would be a Jaws reunion,
Yeah.
hands down.
And
No bother.
we have to mention that scene on the boat where they all start singing together. It's just so
Yeah,
good. Was that, you might know this from watching behind the scenes stuff, but was that improvised or was that something that was scripted?
I think that was improvised. I
Yeah.
think, but don't quote me on it.
Yeah. So
But
it
funny,
comes after Quint's very dark story, and it's just a way to give a bit of levity to the
yeah,
characters. I love they're showing off all their scars to each other.
yeah. Oh, I'd
Um,
have had a field day. Oh,
yeah.
that'd be like drawing a road map of my body somewhere.
Oh yeah. I've only one good scar. I've got a scar on my palm. I cut my hand with glass when I was younger, and I've a pretty wicked scar on my palm. But that's the only one.
Oh, no, I have several. I have a collection.
Yeah.
So
You're
maybe
more
we should
scarred
do.
than human, right?
I'm more scarlet than human. I'm a bit like Frankenstein.
Jaws would take a bite out of you and go, nah, I'll
I,
leave this one. He's too much
well,
scar tissue.
I told the niece and nephews the shark took my leg off in Turkey.
Did they buy it?
I went, yeah.
Oh Jesus.
I was better than saying, oh, yeah, it was diabetes and it was an ulcer, but get a bit more drama and excitement. So
Yeah.
there's two. There's the shark when it jumped off the boat in Turkey, and then there's the tiger that escaped from Belfast Zoo.
Yeah. I
It's,
told everyone you lost it saving orphans from an alien invasion.
oh, I'll take that one as well. I'll take that one as well. Because, like, you get a different audience, and nobody remembers nothing anyway. So
So
here we
Jaws
are.
has a lot to praise about it, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
What flaws would you say it has? If there's a few things here and there you could tweak or something you could point to and say that that's a bit of an issue for you.
None.
None.
None. Honestly, one. I mean, the cut. I know it's a we know it's like a mini submersible shark, but I mean that shot where you see the shark attacking the cage. You know full well it's a real live shark, and then it cuts into the fake one.
Mm,
But who cares?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It still adds to it. To create something that iconic and that flawless, there actually isn't one thing you could say about that. Because even Murray, oh God, what do you call him? That played the town mayor, had this jacket covered in mini anchors.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's just the thoughts of it, and the billboard being vandalized by
Yeah.
the big shot. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing. The performances you can't really criticize. There's
There's a
nothing
neat
to there.
detail with the mayor as well. I think if I'm remembering correctly, but I remember making a mental note of it. There's lots of scenes where he's holding a cigarette, but he's not actually smoking it. And then
Mm,
after the shark attack, and we know for sure there's a shark, he starts smoking it for the first time. I'm pretty sure that's a thing that happens. If so, that's a really neat detail.
yeah. And then you don't know where that's from the actor come up with that or it was in the script.
Yeah.
But if somebody if is it flawless? It is flawless.
Yeah.
There isn't one thing
There's
I could
one
think.
thing I'd point to where I don't really see it as a flaw, but I could understand if maybe people had an issue with it, and that would be the lack of falling action. So after they kill the shark, we don't get too much of what happens after that. I don't think it's necessarily a flaw, but I could understand why people might want to see Brody and Hooper get back to town and maybe have a bit of a resolution or a bit more with the people there, as in like, oh, Brody's kind of really earned his place now. I don't think it's necessary, but I could understand why people
No.
might want that. I'm fine with it the way it is. I think, the
You don't
job's
need it.
done, film's done, we made our point.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
I mean, them and that final shot of those two clinging onto the wreckage and swimming home.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
yeah. And then
And and
Brody
then
saying, I used to be afraid of the water.
yeah,
And
I
Hooper goes, I can't imagine why.
don't know. But I mean, you can't do a podcast without saying "smiley son of a bitch."
Uh, yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
that's how I should have
It,
introduced you. Owen Quinn, smile, you son of a bitch.
and did you also know that the line "you're going to need a bigger boat"
Hmm.
wasn't in the script?
I heard that was
Snyder,
improvised by.
yeah, Snyder
Yeah.
improvised that himself, and
Imagine,
Spielberg
imagine
went to keep that
improvising
in.
such an iconic line. That
I know.
must feel great.
Yeah, and I mean, as I said, I'm a huge fan of Schneider. Really am. It's just one of them people I never got to meet doing his autograph or anything, but I just thought he was great. I know he had troubles with Sequest and the
Mm.
direction it went,
He's
but
he's
I
perfect in
could sit and
this
watch.
as the everyday man. He does that
Yeah,
really well.
but he's also perfect in the French Connection and in as Captain Nathan Bridger.
Yeah.
It just fits in. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like
Another
one of those
scene
everymen.
I just wanted to point to as well is the scene where he's having a really shit day. He's at the dinner table and then his son just starts emulating his expressions and movements, and then
Yeah,
he goes, "Give me a kiss," and the kid goes, "Why?" And he goes, "'Cause I need it."
yeah.
It's just such a
It's so
simple but
ordinary.
effective
Yeah, and
scene.
it's the bond between him and his family. That's what people really related to. That scene is actually repeated in number four
I
with
would
his
imagine
son.
it's repeated but not done as well. I
No,
would
it's not
imagine.
done as well. It's the older son and his
Yeah,
daughter. At this point, Brody dies
yeah.
after the second one.
And I
But
like that it's his son that kind of pulls him out of his mood somewhat.
yeah,
Obviously, it doesn't change everything completely, but it just shows like how big of a role his family is in this.
yeah, and I remember kids died. So, and he said, going, nobody believes me. I'm even with those photographs from the diver that's attacked under the water.
Yeah,
And they retrieved the camera, but it's not clear. It's almost like Nessie photographs.
yeah,
It looks like something, but you can't quite
yeah.
pinpoint. Say
It's
this
also
is a bloody
important to note
shark.
as well that Brody's son was in a lot of danger when the shark attacked as well. So
Yeah,
that's like this could have ended in disaster in Brody's
yeah,
mind. So there's that's another thing that prompts him to want to take responsibility and head out there with the gang to
yeah.
go kill the shark because
People,
his son could have died.
yeah. That's the thing about people. People, it don't tell until it comes to your door. But even when the kid was killed and they all ran out of the sea, I still got the impression it was like, you've really interrupted and spoiled my day here. No, it's that mob mentality that some
Mm.
kids just been killed, but as far as they're concerned, oh my God, is my child okay? Was it a dog eaten first? Am I remembering that correctly?
I
A
don't
dog
remember.
disappears, or maybe that's another one. But
Do you know what you're thinking of? I think humanoids from the deep, where the dogs get eaten. Is that the one you're thinking of?
no, no, no.
Okay.
I have a thing in my head of some fella standing at the beach going, Rover, or they call the dog. I don't know what the dog's called.
Oh no, no.
Rover,
I think you're right. Yeah,
Amma.
I did watch it last week, so some details are hazy, but I
Yeah,
think you might be right.
it's all right with
But
Netflix. You can fast
however,
forward, find it. But I mean, the dog per dogs get going, and then even in Meg, your man throws a wee dog to
that's
the
awful.
the shark. Do you remember that? But it's people's mentality, and then the mayor, oh, you've caused a panic, and you've done this, and destroying Brody in front of everybody, and the kid's death is remembered, but for me, the impact of the mob mentality, go, no, I'm having a lovely day at the beach.
Yeah,
It's kind of been interrupted, that sort of thing, and that would be people. That would
yeah,
be people until it it's one of your kids or one of your relatives. Then it's all a different story.
yeah.
So I think
That's
that's nice as well. The lack of compassion in this small town
yeah,
or support for one of their leaders isn't there.
yeah.
That was very deep and philosophical, but
No, it's a good
I hate
point. Yeah,
I hate to see, but I mean, it also makes great drama.
it
It also
does.
makes great drama
Exactly. We need drama and we
because,
need conflict to make these things interesting.
yeah,
All right. So
because
in
when you get a hero and they don't get the credit they deserve, or they've saved the world and nobody knows, or there's no thanks or something, that adds a whole new element to
yeah,
that person,
yeah.
which I
So
like.
Jaws is a masterpiece. It's got great
It is.
acting, great directing, great character writing, a good score. It's just really, really freaking good. Go watch it if you've not seen Jaws.
Yeah, yeah, you have
It
to.
is shot into after, as I said before, it was always a movie I really, really liked. It was always certainly in my top 10, but after watching it again last week, it's shot up to my top five. Top
Mm,
five horror movies for sure. Go watch it. Would you agree on?
100%, 1,000%, a million percent.
A million
It's
percent.
just, it is. You're right. There isn't anything bad you can say about um, Jaws. There's not even bloopers or movie mistakes. Well, there probably is. Somebody's probably found something, but I don't go looking for that.
There's nothing
If that's
huge.
what,
There's nothing major
yeah,
or
if
obvious.
that's what you're watching a film for, get a life or get laid. One of the two. Jesus
Um,
Christ, get out of your mother's basement. But
Go touch grass.
go touch grass, and there's this big yellow thing in the sky. It's called the sun, and you call a lady or a boy, whatever suits you. Um, but it is, it just is, and it's one of them things. As I said earlier on, if I watch a film over again, I've watched loads of films over again, over and over again, but some of it just don't. I just stop partway through. And go, oh yeah, well, I remember that well. But this one you watch all the way through.
Yeah.
And the when you're talking about atmosphere, do you remember the bit when on the boat apart from the Indianapolis and the sun song and the scars? You heard the whale song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. And when we were on the Norway cruise there in June, we were sitting watching the water because we were 2 days at sea till either end of the week. But you're just looking at the water, going, "What's out there?"
Yeah.
It's there is something magnetic and haunting, and the more things are discovered these days under the ocean, and they're not small animals; these are big animals. And you've got the gloop. Nobody knows what the gloop is.
I've never heard
It,
of the gloop.
the, the gloop they picked up this sound. I'll send you a thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's this mysterious sound they've got at the bottom of the ocean, and this thing, whatever it is massive, but they don't know what it is.
Wow.
I guess it's the Mariana
Because
Trench.
I did hear a fact that quite a high percentage of the ocean is actually unexplored.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. We know more about the moon than we do about the ocean
Very, very
because we
interesting.
can't get down that far. As
Yeah.
sadly those accidents with the submersibles showed, you can only go down so far.
Yeah.
And the technology hasn't been invented yet to get right down.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts of magic things like, oh Christ, was it what they called doomsday fish?
Oh, that sounds cool.
Uh, Folks, if I'm wrong on this, please let me know in the comments.
Correct them in the
There's a
comments.
certain fish, I think it's called the doomsday fish, which lives at the very bottom of the ocean. And for some reason, it's come up to the top of the ocean, which means they think there's underwater volcanoes or tsunamis or something happening because this fishing doesn't come
Hmm.
up this far. And it was the first time it was photographed, really.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's called doomsday fish. I'll have to look at it and send it to you as well. But
It's
I love
heralding the arrival of a kaiju, no doubt.
Yeah, it's something like that. And it's now you sort of go, and the scientists and all the people go, even the wee fishermen who go, oh, that shouldn't be
Hmm.
here.
Hmm.
And that was like you're talking about Arthur C. Clarke. Do you remember the episode about the sea monsters and the plesiosaur body that was found,
Yeah.
really decayed by the Japanese whaler, and then they threw it back in the ocean? Ah,
All right.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
sort of it's on YouTube. The Arthur C. Clarke one about the sea monsters. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It really is fascinating because there's so much down there we don't know. Because you think, oh, the sharks been there for millions of years. They don't sleep. They don't get Alzheimer's.
Hmm.
They don't get cancer. It's the answers are in the ocean
Right.
and in life. But it's just a personal favorite. I love to watch underwater stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
Love to.
same. Yeah. Right, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Stephen Carey Stories. There will be a link in the description. And if you want to check out my latest horror novel, Miles and Mary Ashbury, there will be a link in the description. Also, there is the cover on screen. Owen, where can people find the Time Warriors and Zombie
Time
Blues
Warriors.
and the Wolves of Chernobyl and all that goodness?
And we've got a new series coming called The Tales of Ballinfree, a children's book.
Yeah, which Owen has sent me
That's really cool.
a little teaser of, and it
Yeah,
looks really really enjoyable. So I'm looking forward to seeing your progress on that.
good feedback from that so far on that particular story. I'm
Yeah,
quite pleased with that. That's been sitting in my head for about 12 years.
wow.
Um, yeah, they find me on Time Warriors and beyond timewarriors.co.uk website. Instagram, Time Warriors author, Twitter, Irish author, which I really should change the name up so make it all one. But yeah, I'm about on Facebook. I'm just everywhere
Well,
and everything.
it's great to
Blue
have.
Sky is a new one we've
Yeah,
decided to join.
yeah. I've kind of dabbled in that myself. I'm not very active on a lot of these things.
No, me
Yeah,
neither. Especially in the last 4 weeks, to be honest with you, because I've just been so sick and stuff.
yeah. If
But
anyone
I
does want to
find,
message me, Instagram is the best place to do so.
yeah, you can get me anywhere. I'm anywhere.
And it is great to have Owen back, and it was great to have his expertise breaking down this shark movie. So it was
Tell,
greatly appreciated. And
tell
yeah,
the truth,
welcome
Stephen.
back. I'm glad you're feeling much better.
Tell the truth. You were begging me. You did. You came to my door and I was
I,
kicking my door and said, please come back,
I
won't you?
didn't do that with no knob.
Well, at the doctor issue, not really one for me, but there you go.
I was like,
Yeah, no,
Jack.
it's swear to God.
I was like, Jack. I'm gonna have to have the bastard back now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Do you know what? See, for somebody that talks so much, like, see when you lose your voice
Yeah.
and you're like, it's sort of like, oh, I feel terrible. I'm rarely sick. I know I've had the operation stuff,
I
but
a couple of
that
years
sort of sick.
ago I went through a thing where I lost my voice, and I do a lot of teaching in martial arts and stuff, so just
Yeah.
like hours and hours of fucking talking. So then when you do lose your voice, like, oh man, it's awful.
It is. It is. Especially me, like freaking talk. Somebody said to me, says, "Oh, you talked with a freaking leg of a style." I says, "Well, that's the only way you get to know people and
Yeah, yeah,
find out how they." Well, great. I love wee conversation with taxi drivers. I
yeah,
love always that.
yeah.
But it's weird. But here, do you know what else I found when I was off sick?
What's that?
Um, there's an AI tool which means you never have to do another podcast in your life.
But I enjoy doing these podcasts. Why would I go
Yeah,
into
but
any
wait to
of
hear
them?
this. This is the scary thing.
Yeah,
So it's the thing. I think it's Notebook M1 or something. And you upload a PDF or a Word doc into it, and it can do a podcast based on your book. And I put one on to see what it sounds like. I've already done the free one, but I'm not doing it because it doesn't have this. It doesn't have the personality in it. But
yeah.
it's two American voices, and they know your book inside out. And it was actually quite scary what
Jesus.
they're talking about mine. And I was like, that was uploaded 2 minutes ago, and they've just produced an entire podcast and telling the details details
Scary
only,
stuff, isn't it?
yeah, that only I know. If you know what I mean. If you haven't read the books, you would know. But
Yeah,
I thought that's a bit freaking weird. And they're very animated and they're very American, but they're not me. They're not you. There's
yeah,
no human out, but you pay for if you wanted to use that. I suppose some people it would be useful too. But it's like
yeah.
this. Oh, AI will write scripts. No, it won't because you can't replace the human element. You
Yeah.
just can't. But I
Someone
thought it
was
was
showing
just
me the other
weird.
day, they read a book on Kindle that was clearly AI generated. It was illustrated as well, and the illustrations, let's say, just they don't get the human anatomy quite right.
No,
Um,
they don't.
yeah,
They don't.
but
All my any ones I've done have like three fingers and stuff.
yeah,
That's a bit weird. But I mean, I sent you that thing to put on your books as well, you and Jack.
yeah.
But no, I didn't know, but that was a friend of mine told me about
Oh,
it. So,
speaking of Jack, tell him the vendetta you have against them now.
oh, see, Jack, see that cushion that you were sitting in for Final Destination 4 and 5? That was molded to my Irish cheeks. Let me tell you something. My bum. Don't get too comfortable. I know you're half the size I am, like weight wise. But yeah, that's my
See,
issue. But
this
but
is how Owen works, right? I'm gonna give
yeah,
people a little bit of insight to Owen, right? I say let's do the rest of the Final Destination series. Owen says, "Fuck off, no."
I
Then
did
I
not say a
say,
bad word.
Jack, will you jump on and do it? And Jack says, yeah,
Yeah,
no problem. And then Owen goes, why the fuck didn't I do it? Why didn't you get me to
yeah.
do it? I want to do the next one.
Or
That's
my
how the
baby.
mind. That's how the mind of Owen Quinn works.
Do you know what I mean? So my favorite person is me.
That
So
is
do you know what I
true.
mean?
But as
No,
you
I
say, if no one loves you, who will? If you don't love
yeah,
yourself,
that
who will?
exactly. But I mean, it's all good crack. But I mean, as I said, when you, I just thought, oh shit, no. But I'm gonna moan about it anyway. But no, do you know what? And then I'll listen to number four. I just thought, no, I couldn't. And
No.
you were talking about, oh, it's the same. I'd never seen that coming. The deaths or the
Yeah,
premonition,
yeah,
never seen that coming. And I'm going, yeah, at number four, I had enough at number three. I
yeah,
thought you
yeah.
can't
When you
because
when you watch them all back to back closely, they all start to blend into one
yeah,
film. Like,
yeah, because we actually forgot what number four was all about.
yeah, like I
Until,
there's some scenes I'll imagine in my head, and I honestly couldn't tell you which one of them it's from. You know?
no, well, some of them I do, some of them I don't. But I'm sort of like I couldn't remember number four or what the disaster was at all. I remember the end of number five and being sort of impressed. That brought it at least it brought it back full circle, trying to do something different.
Yeah,
But you were right. I mean, it's not. I just thought, no, thank God Jack did that.
yeah, yeah.
I couldn't. I couldn't. No, I couldn't
But
do it again.
you're interested in doing the sixth one, right?
I want to do the sixth one because um, it promised so much and delivered the same old. But I sort of come up with a theory of why Tony Todd's character never died. And spoilers, there's a reason why I'm thinking this. So you have to watch number six. Do you know why Tony Todd should have been dead a long time ago?
Well, I'm very
Oh, that could be
interested.
wrong.
I'm very interested to hear
Yeah.
your theory on
It-
that. But we shall wrap it up there for today.
yeah.
Great to have Owen back talking about movies. So
Thank you very
I hope you
much.
all enjoyed this, and we will be back again soon. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.